We get that.
So I've never heard about men getting pregnant. I've never heard about this argument. It must be some part of what you call the far left that is so minuscule that I, who am...
No, Jane.
What?
It's not minuscule, and I'm sorry, you can't throw this back on us. I assume it's because you are locked into media that just never wants anyone in their audience to know anything sketchy.
Sure thing. Let's get started immediately. The reality is that Jane Fonda and Bill Maher have been increasingly at war with one another lately.
They just think the far left has gone so nutty on so many issues.
That's what they're being told.
That's what
By people like you.
Because it's true. You think the far left does nothing crazy?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Oh, well then...
But I don't know. Who is the far left? What do you mean when you say far left?
I mean, I could give you a million examples.
Yeah, well, give me one.
Okay, the NAACP...
You think the NAACP is far
Could
left?
I finish my sentence?
Yes.
You asked me for an example.
Yeah.
The NAACP last year issued a travel advisory. You know, that's like the State Department does to go to, I'm sure when you went to Vietnam, they were advising you not to. There's a war on it.
I didn't talk to them. I don't have no...
I know, but you know a travel advisory.
Yeah.
Today we have them for very dangerous countries. You
Yeah.
know, don't go to North Korea. Don't go to Iran.
Yeah.
You know where they issued a travel advisory for black people not to go?
Yeah.
Florida.
This feud pitted two political giants against one another on highly discussed subjects of the day. Here, we are addressing racial inequities, extreme left-wing ideology, and the sheer concept of guys getting pregnant. Jane Fonda, on the other hand, is deeply dedicated to safeguarding progressive ideas. On the other side, Bill Maher is not holding back when it comes to critiquing what he regards as the excessive left-wing rhetoric.
Every day there's stories like that that just makes people roll their eyes and go, are you people nuts? Even if they don't matter that much, I don't think one person listened to this and thought, I can't go to Florida. But they just suggest something to the average person, which I completely understand, which is, wow, do you people ever find anything that's ridiculous? Do you really think men can get pregnant? You know, that kind of stuff.
Well,
and that's...
I mean, I don't know. I read two papers, and maybe I don't. I should watch Fox News.
No,
I guess.
I don't watch Fox. That's too far. But you don't have to. That's
In addition to growing tensions, this disagreement is offering food for serious reflection for all parties concerned. Hold just a second, click that subscribe button if you enjoy things that both challenge and stay committed to the conventional. Sure, I'll patiently wait. Is that all? Welcome aboard. Now, let's jump back in. All right, following up where we left off, let's genuinely get into the nuts and bolts of this fantastic back and forth between Jane Fonda and Bill Maher. I mean, seriously, this was more than just your average talk. It was like a verbal boxing fight. You see, Fonda, who's never shied away from being direct about her opinions, was firmly keeping her position, supporting progressive ideology to the very core. Now,
pretty serious for people of color.
What is?
The ability to live a middle-class life, the ability to accumulate wealth, the ability to own a home. You know, they are prevented from doing those things by laws that remain in place, like redlining and mortgage issues and so forth.
That remain in place? Mm-hmm. Redlining?
Mortgage issues, they can't get the same loans and mortgages that we do, white people do.
It's not against the law to discriminate for a business to hand
I guess there must be some laws, but they're not, I don't know. They're still discriminated against. I don't know about the laws. It still happens. It's very hard.
Now, here's how it all played out. Fonda was forcefully presenting her case when it came to exposing ingrained bigotry. She thinks it's crucial to identify and understand how racial disparities continue to impact communities of color. You know, the whole premise that certain ethnic groups, mainly black areas, have trouble in wealth building and mortgage approvals due to systemic problems like redlining and discriminatory lending practices. Fonda was saying basically it's about time these issues were taken seriously and solved. On the flip side of this dilemma, we have Bill Maher, who may well be one of the most ardent opponents of the extreme left out there. He pushed home his opinion that the far left had, in his perspective, gone over the deep end. And he's not mincing words about it. Maher thinks that the concern with political correctness and the occasionally radical ideas championed by the left may be, well, more destructive than productive.
I love when I grew up. I think it was like a very normal time.
If you were white, yeah.
Yes, if you were white,
Yeah.
absolutely. Glad we said that. I can't help that, nor could you, and when we were born and how we were, I
The
think.
color of our skins.
Yeah, the problem with race, always feel, is like, you and I personally didn't do it, but our race did it.
And continues.
And we benefited from it.
And still do, yeah.
Yeah.
But his skepticism took center stage, particularly as he looked into themes like the prospect of guys being pregnant, a notion he thought was nurtured by a small fringe of the left, but blown out of proportion. And that wasn't the only headline. Grabber. Maher also brought up some fundamental concerns regarding how racial problems are usually handled, or as he sees it, overdone in the media and by certain campaigns. He expressly singled out the NAACP's travel advice, urging Black people against visiting Florida, which he dubbed an over-the-top example of ideological excess. Maher seemed to be challenging the audience. Are you folks serious? The conversation then came back to women's rights, another explosive issue that lit a fire underneath Fonda. She won't play nice when it comes to maintaining the rights of women, notably on the ability to choose. In a provocative remark, she even implied that women would rise up if their rights were challenged or turned back. And that's when things really took a turn, when Fonda joked, or maybe it wasn't quite a joke, about murder being any option in the war for these rights. It was a statement that stunned many, purportedly including Bill Maher, who attempted to smooth over the problem as only a jest. But let's pause for a second. This talk wasn't only about bringing up unpleasant things, but it was also about sharing their bigger perspectives on progress and how society deals with change. Fonda's theory was that social change is important, and that admitting past and present injustices is the first step towards real equality. She underlined that while progress has been gained, there's more to be done, especially paying attention to the challenges being addressed by minorities today. It's the belief that without acknowledging systemic challenges, no true development can be done. Conversely, Maher remained onto the view that while it's necessary to tackle issues, there's a propensity on the left to reject the progress already done. He said that by not acknowledging progress, the left would lose potential followers who find themselves somewhere in the middle of the political spectrum. Maher, it seems, wanted to accentuate the positives, warning against a doom and gloom perspective that erases the tremendous triumphs gained over the decades. And here's the dilemma. With both entrenched in their opinions, neither appears eager to surrender any ground. It was apparent neither would back down. And why would they? This conversation, or discourse depending on how you view it, wasn't solely about who was right or wrong. It was about expressing their viewpoints, each coming from a place of strong conviction. At the end of the day, discussions like this, ugly and heated as they may be, play a key role in how we construct our political and social landscapes. They push us to think, to question, and yes, sometimes even to disagree. So, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.